Being an immigration lawyer is tough because apart from having to cater to your existing customers and having to meet all government deadlines, you also need to market yourself. You need to make sure that you're putting your name out there. That way people are able to come in for a consultation and then eventually become a paid client of your practice. But with so many different channels out there, it can seem difficult to understand which one's actually going to work. So in this video, I'm going to go over the 2 channels that I recommend you start adopting for your practice that is actually helping one of my immigration lawyers get over 80 leads per month. So let's get started. Hi everyone, my name is Franco, your digital marketer. So working with immigration lawyers for several years, I've come to learn that immigration law is super competitive, especially in areas like Miami and Broward, where you really need to be advertising your practice. Otherwise, no one's going to know that you exist. But of course, like I said, there are so many different options, so many different channels out there, but there are only really 2 that you should focus on adopting for your practice right away. So the first thing you should be doing is running Google LSA or Google Local Service Ads. So Google Local Services is a program by Google in which you actually have to get verified by Google in order to run these ads. So Google will request from you some business information as well as your state bar ID. Now, what's cool about this is that even though it might take 5, 10, 15 minutes, a lot of attorneys do not want to spend that time to actually apply. They see it as something that really takes up their time. It's a hassle. But the beauty of it is that if you get approved, which in most cases you will actually show up in the Google Local Services listings. And it's actually free to be there. Now, what I said is that you should run Google Local Service Ads, which means that you actually put a budget towards those ads and you don't really need to get that involved. Google will do the rest. You put the money and you tell Google what type of lead you want. If you want family petition-based leads, if you want something related to deportation or asylum, you can set that up there. And what will happen is that Google will start pretty much showing your ad at the top and you will start getting calls from those people looking to speak with an immigration lawyer. Now, the cool thing is that if you get a call that is unrelated to what you have on your profile that you're actually searching for, Google will actually give you your money back. So for example, if you're running ads for immigration law and someone is interested in getting a job at your practice, or someone is interested in speaking with a personal injury attorney, it doesn't get better than that. So check it out. I have a video that I actually recorded in the past a little bit more about Google Local Services, but trust me, it's something you should do. Now for number 2 is Google Search Ads. So it's very similar to Google Local Services in that you're going to show up at the very top of Google search, but the biggest difference is that you have a lot more control and you don't need to get approved by Google to run these ads. But what you will be able to do is target people in English or in Spanish separately. With Google LSA, you can't do that. You can also have a special offer in your ad text. So if you want to say that you have a free consultation, you can put there free consultation, or in Spanish, consulta gratis, which makes a ton of difference, especially because in Google Local Services, all of the different practices, they look kind of the same. They don't really have much customization. But with Google Search, you can really do a lot. You can even put the picture of your practice in there. You can put different site links to different pages on your website. So there's a lot more control that you have with Google Search that you don't have with LSA. Furthermore, what I like about Google Search Ads is that you're actually able to spend more money if you want to, and you're able to target different areas in ways that you can't really do that with Google Local Services. I think that the best thing you can do is implement both Google Local Services and Google Search Ads. That way you can show up on Google Local Services and right underneath that, Google Search Ads, which is what I'm doing for my immigration lawyer here in Miami. But wait, before you do any type of advertising, whether it's Google LSA or Google Search Ads, you need to make sure that you have the right follow-up process. And the reason I say that is that I come across businesses all the time that they will get leads, but then once they have that consultation and they've provided someone with a quote, they never follow up. And that's the worst thing you can do, because if you do not follow up within a week of someone seeing your lawyer or your law firm, they might forget who you are. And when they want to find you again, they might do the search again on Google, or they might see an ad on Facebook and Instagram and they're going to talk to that other lawyer. And if you were not following up with them, they're just going to go with the one that follows up better, because most of the sales happen in the follow-up. If you are selling something that is $5,000, for example, most people are not going to buy today. They're going to go home, they're going to think about it, and maybe in a week or 2, they might come back. In a month, they might come back, or maybe even in 6 months or a year, they're going to come back. But you and your team need to follow up, otherwise you're not going to be able to close that business. I've come across situations where I've had clients get leads and they don't follow up with the lead at all, and then 2 months later when we ask them, hey, how to go with this lead, and they actually follow up at that time, they call that lead and that lead says, oh, I went with someone else. So don't lose potential business to your competitions because you didn't follow up or your team didn't follow up. Make sure you have a strong follow-up process in place. That way, all of the leads that you get turn into consultations, and then those consultations turn into actual sales. And if you wanna get started improving your follow-up process, check out this video where I go over how to follow up for your business. See you soon.